Hello, guys. Welcome to the new show of Asked and Answered. I mean, Hossein Show. What's up? Shameless, right? I've heard about that show, but never. Hello, guys. Welcome to the new show of Asked and Answered. I mean, Hossein Show. Oh. What's up? Some. Shit. Let's see. Do you guys hear me? Assalamu alaikum, Arash. How are you, my friend? Hey, Divya. Glad to see you here. I set the live stream 1 hour early. Let's see if it benefits people more. Welcome to the new installment of I talk and you give questions. How are you doing, people? Is there anything you would like me to talk about? I have some questions from before. I can start with them before proceeding, I mean. Let's see. Or maybe I should wait just a few seconds if and see if there are more joining the call or the live stream, I mean. Young Yoda, are you going to come out with a book soon enough in the near future? I mean, there have to be some people wanting to read that jibber jabber that I'm going to write, right? um, when will you tell about yourself? Uh, Very soon. I promise. I will tell very soon about me. And maybe even just to give you some spoilers alert, I'm going to make videos outside of my apartment. so you so you don't get sick of this white wall that you see on every single video and this signature shirt that you grown to love so much. Alpha Interactions. Thinking of closing. By the way, hello, my man. I've seen you grinding. Let me see your question here. Thinking of closing down my channel, bro. I have a lot of hate mail and feedback from females in my area. What would you do, bro? Have 2.1 subs. Let's see. I know the kind of content that you are producing can give a lot of polarizing feelings, can create polarizing feelings because at one hand you're trying to um, in your own way help men to become better versions of themselves, but on the other hand, like if I'm being honest here, a lot of MGTOW and red pill channels, they tend to become some kind of a hate mecca. You know, people go there to let out the steam, let their frustrations out. But the truth is, you don't have to sound negative in order to help people. I'm not saying that you do, or I'm not saying that other people do, but the connotation, like, um, even like if you're trying to help some overweight person to lose weight, you cannot tell to that overweight person that you're fat and you're better to step on the treadmill. You have to find other ways in communicating the same message, but with a lot more friendly attitude. That being said, telling them to do what they have to do without sounding negative. If you like those channels that you and me we both watch and observe, they tend to just tell a lot of stuff without presenting factual data. And I don't say that the things that they promote some are factually wrong, but the way they sound brings a lot of negative connotation. And people, and the thing with the hate is that it's very addictive. When you're wallowing in self pity, it becomes very easy to be be drawn by the stream and join that hateful escapade, if you know what I mean. So my suggestion to you is to maybe reconsider the ways that you are trying to convey your message, and not necessarily uh, toning down or not being truthful with yourself or with them, but rather be more positive. I think people become you will gain a lot more both personal fulfillment and positive feedback by becoming that positive light in the darkness, if I could put it like that. Because let's face it, I mean, if those people who are watching those channels again and again and again, spewing out a lot of hate, then it means that they are not ready to better themselves. They are not ready to improve themselves. They're just wallowing in self-pity. So if you just try different things, my suggestions to you, brother, to try different things by implementing new stuff in your repertoire. And no, you shouldn't give up. No way. If that's what you are passionate about, you should keep doing what you're doing and just make some small uh, adjustments to the way that you're delivering your message. Try it out. Yes, that's my proposition to you. And no, don't give up. Do your thing, brother. Life is a journey. Hello, brother. I think they should follow your advice and join the Discord. It'll be fun experience. Power Matrix, salute you, brother. 42-0. Your videos and comments on other self-improvement helped me a lot, brother. Thank you. My appreciations. Namaste. Young Yoda, why did you start making these videos? Like your mission statement. A lot of clarity is born from darkness. And my thing was, I was feeling very low, and I was dealing with a lot of personal crisis, and that crisis, that trauma led me to want to understand what's happening with me, what's happening with the surroundings, what's happening with people that I knew that were in my life and disappeared. Was it me? Was it something I was doing wrong? Or like why was I feeling down, even though on the paper I was doing everything right? So in that way, I came to some different teachings, a little bit here, a little bit there, mixed it up, and here you have it, my own version of what I've learned. So yeah, I want to. My thing was that I wanted to understand life and people and how to get my message outside, like express my most inner creative desires, energies outside. And yeah, if you're doing something that you like every single day, or at least every other day, without someone paying you a dime for it, you have your purpose. You have arrived, my friend. Let's see. I got a question. Is there a way to email you? Yes, of course. My email is in the about description and about tab on my channel. It's Hossein. Ah, Alex helped you. Now I see. YouTube, new terms and conditions. Terms of condition. Let's see. DOS will screw a lot of channels down the road. Yeah, they're trying to do it more PG. The more PG it is, the more money it brings. Family friendly. Assalamu alaikum, Danny. How are you, brother? Let's see. Alpha interactions. I think you could contact me. Either send a DM to me on Instagram or email me. You have my email in the chat here. Alex provided my email address. Just email me. We can talk more about that. I appreciate you being here, young Yoda. This is a great question that I tackle myself a lot. That I uh, battle with a lot. Question from Divya. It is easy to tell others to be good, but practicing ourselves is difficult. How do you manage yourself being good? But not by not trying to manage yourself. I mean, the more you're consumed with your own persona, with your own well being, the more you're going to feel miserable. And I can tell you that I experience this from time to time because many may have already understood that I practice solitude a lot. And doing that, it's easy to slip up and make your ego to take over yourself, which makes it even hard, which makes it very, how can I put it, uh, toxic, because the more you think about being good, being better, being something positive, it becomes a mission towards bettering yourself, not out of objectivity, but out of superiority. Now, I know that neither you or I trying to uh, dominate someone or prove someone else uh, to be a good person by making ourselves more valuable, more knowledgeable, more wise. But at the end of the day, the ego is very sneaky, and the more we're trying to battle that feeling of being good, the more we dive deeper into this darkness of not feeling good. And I can tell you this: solitude is a very good thing, but whenever you are experiencing that you're on a righteous path, trying to understand yourself, and you're getting a sense of where your journey is heading, the best thing you can do is to focus on other people and helping them out. In that way, you will stop thinking how to better yourself. It will come naturally. Your betterment, your improvement will come naturally. I hope it helps. I mean, I haven't. This is my perspective as of now. I'm, as I have said this before. I'm no guru. I'm no coach. I'm no sage or something like that. But I think this is where I am as of now, and I think this is this point can be proven by just whenever you feel bad or sad or something like that. Try to hang out with your buddies or try to help someone in person, not just digitally, in person, or at least hearing the other person's voice. You will feel a lot better instantly. Try that one out and tell me the results that you get. Hope this helps, Divya. Life is a journey. I watched a video on mentors, and the topic was about should you have more than one mentor? What's your take on that? No, there's no actual rule about mentorship. I mean, mentorship is for your own betterment, and mentor means actually a person who has traveled, who has paved the way that you are trying to go, has traveled the path, has traveled the distance that you are trying to go. And we human beings, being all very unique, like, I'm not trying to sound like a snowflake or something like that, but yes, of course, we are similar to the core, but we have small nuances that make us unique, like small traits or characteristics that make us differ from each other, and those traits those traits paint a very unique way, very unique path for you. So in order to go that unique path of yours, you have to gather knowledge and wisdom from different places and combine them into one flashlight that will enlighten your towards mentorship is for you to take advantage of, not in a bad way, but I mean, you gain the knowledge that you need add to your own knowledge bank, add to your own backpack of knowledge from one source, and then you feel that the source has been emptied on the qualities that favor your journey. So you go to another source and gather knowledge and wisdom from that source. So in that way, you create a mixture of different knowledge banks, which will make you the person that you will become. Not that there's an end point, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So if you have one mentor at one time at one point of time, or you have several mentors at that point of time, it doesn't matter so much. But I guess the point is to not get too many different point of views from too many sources, so that you can get confused. In that sense, maybe you can try to like balance between two or three sources, so you don't get lost. Yeah, and as Alex says, having multiple sources can reduce bias, because it's very important that you don't get religious about one mentor. You have to always question stuff. You have to always question even yourself, your own choices. Because if you are comfortable with something specific during very long time, it becomes a religion for you, and that's very dangerous. Let's see. Young Yoda, who or what inspires you? That's a good answer about how you manage your own goodness. Who or what inspires you? How do you want us to view you? Touched on that in your last answer. Who or what? Yeah, I guess you mean like how you should relate to people that inspire you. I mean, I've seen a lot of self improvement, personal development, self help channels where people get too, how can I say it, too attached um, to their most favorite content creators. I mean, it's not only in self help community, but it's very dangerous to get attached to a person in a way that that person's worldview becomes your only source of understanding what life is about. It's very dangerous. So you have to always question, like what I'm saying to you. You have to always question if whether it sounds reasonable or sound. And you, as I told before, or as Alex told before, you have to have different sources that you gather information from, and like weigh them against each other and try to understand whether it sounds reasonable. So so you don't get like you should never see someone being like, you should never put anyone on pedestal, if I may put it like that. So you have to always be on the same level. I'm not special. No one is special. We're just human beings. We're just souls that having these human experiences, and trying to help each other out will only elevate that consciousness of ours and make it easier to find our path in this life. Let's see. I had this. I had these questions. Did you know that Napoleon Hill was a con artist? No, I didn't. I thought he was just an author, like a ghostwriter, going around and uh, writing down a lot of, like, writing books for bio- how do you say it? How do you say it? Biographies for different known people and successful people, and compiling them into one work and making it, yeah, making it known to public eye. So I thought he was just a ghostwriter, but no, I didn't hear. I never heard him being a con artist. Um, Hey Hossein, what are your top five personal favorite self-help books that help you in life? That sentence of helped you in life. I'm not there yet, not quite. So, but I mean, as with everything else, I'm going to be vague here. So, because like, if I will recommend you one book and someone has read something different, but like the core of it, the gist of it being the same thing that we're discussing here. I mean, it depends on the style, on the way the author writes, and where you are at life. Like business books or self help books. I mean, it's like it becomes a mix. It becomes a mixture, but. Uh, I really don't want to name authors, but I will do this. I can give you, let's see, two authors that I like, and those are Robert Greene and Eckhart Tolle. So there you have it. I haven't. I mean, I've read several books, and there's a person who calls himself Rollo Tomasi as well. That's he is a very eye-opening person. So if you know who I'm talking about, then yeah, three people: Robert Greene, Eckhart Tolle, and Rollo Tomasi. Although I've read only one of his books, I usually watch his podcasts. So my favorite book. There is none because I don't see like yet again it's very. I mean, The Power of Now is a very was a very eye-opening book for me at the moment being when I was reading that. But I mean, you have your different periods in life, and saying that something is favorite is like putting too much power into one thing and not seeing the upcoming thing. I mean, I will do some videos on books if you would like to. So I'm trying to make up some more time so that I can get back to reading. I love reading books. I never thought I would say that because I hate it. My parents tell me always that I have to read something, but they were recommending me some literature, like some. Um, I mean, how do you say it? Science fiction, not science fiction, but like I like educational books. Let's put it like that. I don't like reading some drama or novels or stuff like that. So as of now, favorite book maybe maybe The Power of Now maybe because I read it like 7 times or something like that. I was feeling very down at the moment. Um, Yes, a gemstone indeed. Power matrix. Uh, yeah, I concur. I agree that the questions are very good. Keep them coming. I appreciate you taking your time and tuning in. I have some questions here on submission list. Let's see. Person mind. How to learn English. As with everything else, you have to find ways to practice it. I mean, I'm not super fluent in English. I mean, I am fluent, but you see, I trip up on words sometimes because I have to um, structure sentences in my mind before I spit it out. But I mean, the more you talk about, the more fluent you become. So just reading or just listening to English language. I mean, not just English language. Uh, it concerns all languages. The best way of learning a language is to move to a place where they speak that language, because you push yourself to interact, and in that way, you don't see, like, when you try to learn something, it becomes the obstacle. No, it becomes the end goal. It's like you seeing this boogeyman in front of you, and you're scared to speak out and try to battle it. But the thing is, if that boogeyman is not the end goal, but just an obstacle for you to get over to other side, like if you're trying to uh, if you're moving from your country to another one, and like permanently, you have to communicate in order to, I don't know, buy groceries and find new friends, get a new job. So the language doesn't. So the language is not the end goal. The language is just a barrier, and you have to jump over the barrier. It becomes secondary. So in that way, you push yourself to use that tool without even thinking about the complexity of that language, if you know what I mean. I hope that clarifies it. So basically, you have to use it in order to become better. Let's see. Why I started this channel and picked this content? Royale boy, shout out to him. Uh, I think I've already answered this question. I was feeling down and searching for answers, thus come across a lot of information about different stuff: psychology, philosophy, human behavior, yada yada yada. Voila, we have a channel. Let's see. I'm very curious. Do you think this is from NYX to Ascend? I'm very curious. Do you think long-term relationships are worth your time in the romantic sense? And if yes, what is the value you see in being in one? This kind of questions I'd rather to avoid. But no, seriously. For me personally, like this question is actually very tricky, because you cannot just answer blatantly without backing up with some background story. Now, because my view on relationships are based on logical understandings of human behavior and why we do things that we do. What are the things that drive us in this life to become something? So relationships, all types of relationships are good, because they help us to grow. But the specific question was regarding romantic relationships, right? So I mean, I've been in romantic relationships, but not so many monogamous ones because deep down in my heart, I felt that even my mother was like shaming me because she was like, "Are you ever going to love someone?" And now I understand what love is about, and I'm trying to explain for her. Not that I care for her approving this, but like whenever we discuss this stuff, I mean, love is like that feeling of being in love with someone. It's not a coincidence. It's nothing out of nowhere. Um, uh, it's not a unconditional thing. So whenever you get in love with someone, it's because you even for most of people it's subconsciously. You know subconsciously why you are falling in love with that person. So from my point, for me personally, I know that my value as a man, because let's face it, there are like different um, um, different parts of a life that we have to take into consideration. Like we are spiritual beings and we are human beings. And because many people don't understand this spiritual part, they interact like being. Like we were talking about Eckhart Tolle here, the power of now, that being part of just existence is very tricky concept for many people, so that they operate in domain of doing, being people, being people of certain profession, being people of certain background, race, gender. So as being a man, I know for a fact that my value as being a man, shout out to Alex and making all kinds of gains. Uh, my value as a man comes from um, I have to create my value because as a man, my equity lies in knowledge, wisdom, resources, being a leader in my own life, so I can become leader of potentially, if I choose that, family. So for now, being a relationship for me doesn't have any. Um, I mean, doesn't have a purpose because I would be selling myself short because I'm not the best that I can be before. Like before selling something, you have to make sure that that something is good, that something has a price. But if we're discussing this monogamous romantic relationship concept, for women it's a different ballgame because as we know, women, men like with their eyes. So, I mean, let's face it, women's power lies in her beauty, in her youth. So, in that sense, if you want to win a jackpot in life as a woman, you have to act quickly. Uh, I'm not telling you to that as that same thing, same path concerns every one of them. But I'm speaking in general terms, so take that into consideration. So for me, to win a jackpot, I have to gather a lot of commodity, which is knowledge, wisdom, resources, yada yada yada. Build up something. To start a family, that's another thing, and I will cross that bridge when I get there. So I hope that answered your question. Um, NYX to ascend. And there's a comment from Courtney. You're doing awesome, man. When is the book coming out? Uh, I've got this question several times now. So, my question to you, viewers, would be what do you think a book from me would be about? Let me know in the chat. So, let's see. Bum, 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 bum. Daniel, I should start a channel. I don't even know where to begin though. I don't feel like I'm an expert enough on anything to give advice necessarily. Something to think about for myself, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's always easy to do something that you're passionate about, or at least like to do on regular basis. So if you're starting something, I mean, I've seen channels about grown men playing with figurines to different comic books characters. So there you go. You can do whatever you want. Just make sure that you enjoy it yourself, so that you can keep up with that. Yes, that's exactly my point. Everyone begins from scratch. Let's see. Are there anyone who wants to talk with me? I mean, on Discord. Is there anyone who wants to talk with me on Discord? I think I will wrap it up soon. Thank you. Good proposition, Divya. Book on life with every aspects, self-growth, relationships, family and friends. I mean, I'm not that famous to write a biography, right? Maybe in 10 years, 15 years or something like that. Yeah, definitely. Sounds good. I've been thinking about writing a book from the moment I started this channel, but I mean, uh, you have to you have to have a following before you can do that kind of creative work. This is a great question. How do you deal with boredom? And the answer is you don't. You let boredom to consume you until something good pops out from that. Because boredom is us being restless, wanting something else to happen in life, and feeling, how do you say it? FOMO, feeling of missing out. And boredom can lead you to great adventures. Um, Trying to, instead of escaping that boredom, letting it to consume you, so that you process all of your thoughts and feelings and let it let it spit out a purpose that you should follow, like asking yourself a lot of different questions. I could post it on a under a video. A lot of you have to do a lot of self query, asking yourself what you like, who you are, who are your friends, are they real, are they do they support you in your cause, who would you like to be, what would you like to contribute into this world. with. Stuff like that. Um, Jerome, your channel has grown rapidly. Explain that. Actually, lately I've been slacking off with the commenting, so the growth has declined actually because I realized, firstly, like, okay, to answer your question, commenting, a lot of it, being annoying as fuck. So yeah, I mean, those who hate, they hate. I mean, haters write comments, and those who like you, they put a like, upvote your comments, and they are majority actually. So um, yeah, commenting. I mean, under the relevant videos, not only channels. I mean, there are different mixture of channels. There are channels that cover topics on lifestyle and finance, or finance and cars, or something like that. So you have to not only find channels that are in the same niche, but doing specifically the kind of videos that you are producing and making relevant commentaries. A lot of them. I mean, I will be honest with you, it takes a lot of time commenting on 30 videos, 20 or 30 videos a day, so it's not for everyone. You could imagine how much time it takes. So, yeah. Right now, I'm not commenting so much, so the growth has declined. But I'm seeking to do some collaborations, people. If you know channels who are doing similar, who are covering similar topics, that you would like me to do collaboration with, give me some suggestions. I will do collaboration with one nice lady in near future, I think, and then I have some several leads, and yeah, I will be hunting for more collaboration. I think we have to change it up a little bit on this channel so it doesn't get boring for you to see me and my white wall behind me. Jerome, I don't know if you've seen the chat in the beginning there, but there was a good question. There was a similar question from Alpha Interactions. He was thinking about closing the business, the YouTube biz, because he was getting a lot of heat from haters. And the thing is, so much hate that I've gotten. I mean, I almost, I almost feed on that hate. Uh, like in the beginning, it takes a lot of emotional fortitude to not react on that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not personal. I get these comments, I get those replies all the time. Like, shut up, nobody asked you for your comments all the time. You're on every video on goddamn YouTube. Like, what do I care to reply to them? I don't reply, I don't acknowledge them. If people like my comments, let them like. If people dislike my comments, let them dislike. I'm just putting information out there and letting the life, reality, make the rest of the job. Don't react. Don't get emotional about it. And I mean, people who hate and react, they are miserable themselves. I mean, no happy person, no, zero knowledge about it, zero. They have no. They have zero. They have no understanding of who you might be, how your life looks like, why you're doing the things you do. It's like sometimes you put a small comment and they expect you like, oh no, you missed this one, that's why it's wrong. But Come on, dude. I'm trying to write a comment very fast so I can get traction. I'm not trying to write a paragraph explaining all small different nuances of what I meant with by that small comment. You see what I'm saying? So your mission is just put information out there and just hope for the better. Like if you are feeling that you're not getting too much traction, comment. Sometimes because I feel like sometimes I could get. I was feeling like I could almost uh, foresee the result of a comment. Like when I'm tired, I don't have too much. Uh, I'm not that inspired, so I don't lay a lot of energy on commenting. Uh, so I'm trying to just be there, but those comments don't get a lot of traction. And when you're feeling good, uh, when you put your like soul into writing a comment, you really want someone to read your message. Those comments make a lot of make much better. So on the other hand, if you feel that you're not getting that much traction, try to follow some more creators and comment some more. And you have to weigh in the amount of energies that you put in. Like, there's no point on commenting on channels that get 1,000 views. Obviously, I mean, you know that, but I'm trying to just remind you. So that's that. If you want to talk about YouTube, you're very welcome to contact me personally. We could maybe share some ideas and you could surely teach me something about that. Um, yeah, there are many people who came across my channel through commenting. Thanks, Danny. Glad to have you here. Your videos elaborate on your comments. Yeah, in a way, yeah, actually, now that you say that. Yeah, I mean, haters will always hate. It doesn't matter what or who they hate on. They're hating because they're not feeling good about themselves. And when others do good, and like many people, like they don't want to feel miserable and left out in this life. That's why they hate on others, so that they can bring others onto their levels, so they don't feel bad about themselves. So if you have haters, then you're doing something right. Keep that in mind. Uh, let's see. Funniest experience after starting your videos and after starting your channel from Deviant. I mean, this is fun, don't you think? It would be fun if you would be so kind to join the Discord group and call in live, talk to me, and that would be more real. Let's see. I subscribed to your channel after reading some of your comments on someone else's channel. Yeah, that's true. I mean, YouTube has gotten a lot competitive. I mean, the days of PewDiePie and other people starting from zero, and it's a lot harder right now. Either you have to have some specific, you have to have some scandalous trait of your video. Like your videos have to include something scandalous, not necessarily in a bad way. I mean, if you're very young, foxy, hot gal, you will get a lot of subscribers. I've seen that with many different channels. Uh, if you've heard about Janelle, maybe. And there was another girl who was very attractive. She got instantly a lot of several tens of thousands of subscribers from male audience, of course. And if you're a guy, make something outrageous, like I don't know, picking up girls maybe in public and let someone feel like record that. I'm not condoning that because you might check with your lawyer before doing that. But yeah, you understand what I mean. It has to be something outrageous, scandalous, or like maybe commenting or on other creators or celebrities, having their names in your titles, that kind of stuff. But if you're trying to build something from zero without piggybacking on someone else, I mean commenting, sort of piggybacking, but not directly. If you're trying to build something up on your own, it will take a lot of time. So yeah, you have to grind. But I think like 2 years of YouTubing consistently and trying to improve is much better than trying to build trying to, like, I don't know, if you're having another kind of business like selling ice cream or something. You have to have ingredients, you have to have storage, you have to have like place to rent and stuff like that. This is, I mean, this is, I don't invest a lot of money in this. So of course I'm going to buy new equipment, but it's nothing compared to what it could have been. Uh, Matt Davella, collab with you and Matt Davella would be legendary. I mean, Matt Davella is a great videographer. I like his style, especially his thumbnails. Um, yeah, I mean, what can I say? How can we get in contact with you? By the way, had you commented on various videos? Had you not commented on various videos, I wouldn't have found your content. Yeah, it's very hard to get noticed as a, like, YouTube gets more crowded for every day that passes. So thank you, Alex, for uh, outlining my email address. Uh, exactly, Jerome, Victoria, and you see, she got like free boost from nowhere, but yet she didn't commit to it. So you see, what you not fight for, you don't appreciate. Um, so, any last questions? I think I will wrap up in 1 minute or so. I was planning to do 30 minutes here and talk to someone on Discord, but yeah, no one wants to talk with me. How sad. Hey, Danny Syke. Thank you very much. I'm doing well, brother. I hope you're doing well too. Um Power Matrix. I actually found about your channel from Charisma on Command. Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of hate on his channel as well. So, but I don't care. So, and the thing is, one thing, Power Matrix. I think we can discuss some stuff about your content. So, why your comments are on most motivational videos? That's because the only way for me to get subscribers as of now. But as I said before, I will do collaborations. So I hope to gain traction by doing that. I mean, many channels that I know blew up latest year or something like that, the past year or something like that. All of them got shout outs or collaborations. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, people. I think that's it for now. I appreciate you joining me this lovely evening for me. And I hope you can join my Discord group so that we can chit chat something, both online, both live, and otherwise as well. You're welcome to contact me uh, on different topics. Doesn't matter. Okay. So it was fun. And for now, Hossein out.